Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw from my birthday, June 3rd, 2024. So, yeah, I came late for this. I swear, I came like 5 minutes late, and Liv was barely doing her first promo, but I digress. So I'm going to go over all the matches and segments like I usually do. If you're new here, subscribe because I always do SmackDown and Raw reviews. Sometimes NXT special episode reviews. Just, yeah. Yeah, so, and also I'm just ranking people's title reigns from last year, so whatever. So I'm going to be going, yeah, all the matches and segments and rank them, and I'm going to give the whole show a rating at the end. So it started off with Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. That was just so beautifully executed. Dom's freaking Dom trying to hesitate, but then that little smile when he got off of Liv. When Liv was just touching his hair. Like, Liv was just flirting with him. Textbook flirting, and she's like, I'm going to take everything away from Rhea. That whole segment was really good, well produced, 4 out of 5. Yeah. So then the first match was Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser. This match, I saw people giving it a 9 out of 10 on Cage Match. Like, it was mostly a 9, too. I didn't see that personally. Like, I thought that was a pretty decent match. Ludwig Kaiser won by roll-up, which I think is pretty cool. Ludwig needs a win at this point, but yeah, I didn't see a 9 out of 10 match. I saw a decent match. I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. And then next up was Dragon Lee versus Finn Balor. This is exactly what I expected from this match. Nothing too special, just a match. It was good, nonetheless. Decent, or no, it was pretty decent, not gonna lie. Finn picks up a much needed win here, so yeah. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5, so cool. Next up was Sami Zayn and Alpha Academy segment. That was just so wonderfully executed once again. Back-to-back weeks where I give this segment a 5 out of 5. It's just crazy. Just go check out the segment if you haven't. That's just pure cinema. He just calls Chad Gable, but Alpha Academy shows up and all that. And then Gable shows up at the cheap shop. But then there's Otis in this cinema with Otis. Just go watch it for yourself. That was amazing. 5 out of 5. Next up is the fifth thing, which is the third match. Ricochet versus Braun Breaker. That was a good match. That was really good. Braun Breaker got the win. And this was the first Braun Breaker match, I believe, on the main roster that was not less than 3 minutes. This was at least a solid 8 or 9 or 10 minutes. So this was a pretty good match. Braun Breaker obviously had to win. I'm hoping to do a triple threat at Clash. Ilya, Braun, and Ricochet. Please! That's going to give us a match of the decade, for real. Match of the century. 3.5 out of 5 for this one, though. Next up was Natalya versus Kiana James in her debut. I thought this match would go on a little bit longer. They did really good for the 3 minutes they had. But then Kiana squashed her, so 2.4 out of 5. I mean, it's not surprising, but, like, I expected more out of this because it started off really quickly and really good, but 2.4 out of 5 because it was just 3 minutes. Braun Strowman versus Carlito was next. Squash, 1 out of 5 next. The Women's Tag Team Championships were next on the line between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. It was an okay match. It was getting better, though, but then DQ happened. I would want to see the Unholy Union get a title shot at Clash, so that's going to be cool, too. But the whole match, I'm going to give it a 2.3 out of 5. Next up was Jey Uso's segment, which I usually very much hate the Jey Uso segments, but this one was actually pretty decent. I guess it was just him thanking all the fans for his support after his whole year of triumph away from the bloodline, or almost a whole year. And then now he's going to go for the Money in the Bank briefcase, and oh no, the amount of names I heard. It's a nightmare. I hope Finn wins the Money in the Bank, though, but I digress. 3 out of 5. Next up was the New Day versus Authors of Pain, squash 1 out of 5, and the main event was... I'm sorry, I did that way too fast. 1 out of 5 because it was a squash. Nothing happened. But the main event was Rey Mysterio versus Damian Priest. I was really proud of this match because Rey Mysterio can still go. 15 years. I watched a match from like 15 years ago with Rey Mysterio. He can still go, which I believe is awesome. Damian Priest, the World Heavyweight Champion, ended up getting the win. I'm going to get a 3.3 out of 5. Yeah, Rick can still go. I'm so glad. He can still have bangers, too, with anyone he wants. With anyone he wants, he can have bangers. 3.3 out of 5. Not that good of a match, but 3.3 out of 5. It's still good in most aspects. So if I have to rank these segments, Sami Zayn and Alpha Academy segment goes number 1, obviously, highlight of the night. Liv and Dom goes number 2, but it's not close, but, like, it's still really good. Ricochet versus Braun Breaker was match of the night. Rey Mysterio versus Damian Priest goes 4th. Dragon Lee, Finn Balor goes 5th. Jey Uso segment, oh gosh, goes 6th. Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser goes 7th. Natalya versus Kiana James goes 8th. The Women's Tag Team Championship goes 9th. The New Day versus Authors of Pain goes 10th, and 11th is the worst match of the night between the Braun Strowman versus Carlito. But they did kill Braun Strowman at the end of it. They took him out, so they blew out the knee. So not surprised. This was a much better episode of Raw than I thought, mostly because of the anticipation of the storyline with Liv and Dom. There was the Ricochet and Braun Breaker match, like that was insane. Like, you got a lot of really good aspects on this show. A title match, too. You got a lot of really good aspects on this show. I loved it. So, 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. It was the first time I gave Raw a 4 out of 5 since, like, what, April? So, yeah, it's really good. That's really good. So, starting off June right. Thank you all for watching this video, and have a good day. Goodbye.